by Kayla Gaskins of the National News Desk. The ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas hit a dark point Thursday, as the first hostages returned to Israel in caskets rather than alive. Hamas returned what they claimed were the bodies of Shiri Bibas and her two young sons, 9-month-old Kafir and 4-year-old Ariel, along with 83-year-old Oded Lifshitz. Israel will verify the identities. We sat down with the Israeli ambassador to the U.S. Michael Leiter after the hostage release. I think it's indicative of the people we're dealing with. These people are monsters, Leiter said. These babies were taken alive. They're being returned in caskets. It's going to become clear in the next few days just how brutal these murders were. Hamas has claimed that the Bibas family was killed in an Israeli airstrike but has not provided evidence to support this assertion. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance reaffirmed the United States' commitment to securing the release of remaining hostages. President Trump loves you. He hasn't forgotten your loved ones. And he is going to fight every single day to bring them home, Vance said at SPAC Thursday. The situation remains tense between Israel and Hamas as negotiations for the next phase of a fragile ceasefire deal appear to have stalled. Families of hostages still in Gaza spoke at SPAC in Washington, D.C., urging, "There is one priority right now, let's not sign more death certificates," said Moshe Levy, brother-in-law of hostage Omri Miran. Ambassador Leiter emphasized the relationship between the U.S. and Israel remains strong. We're feeling any daylight that had been between us and the last administration is being erased. We're moving into a mode of learning to tango together right now. Not yet lockstep, but a very close tango. Leiter, like many Israelis, feels the pain of this war personally. His eldest son died serving in Gaza. My son was the company commander of the lead company going into Gaza, and I see that as the microcosm of Israel being the lead company of civilization against barbarism. Hamas is expected to release 6 more live hostages this Saturday. Although Hamas is plotting their escape as they slowly release the hostages, Hamas is not expected to survive this once all of the hostages have been released. They will be hunted down and exterminated no matter how long it takes.
I'm Kayla Gaskins in Washington. As the new Israeli ambassador to the United States settles into Washington, he sat down for an exclusive interview with us. The video of Shiri Bibas clinging to her 2 young sons as Hamas kidnapped them on October 7th, 2023, becoming one of the most powerful images of the conflict. Baby Kafir was just 9 months old. On Thursday, Hamas returned what they said were their bodies, along with that of 83-year-old Oded Lifshitz, marking the first of the hostages to return to Israel in caskets.
I think it's indicative of the enemy we're dealing with. These people are monsters.
We sat down Thursday with Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Michael Leiter.
These babies were taken alive. They're being returned in caskets. It's going to become clear in the next few days just how brutal these murders were.
Hamas claims the Bibases were killed in an Israeli airstrike, but offered no evidence this was the case. Vice President J.D. Vance reaffirming the U.S.'s commitment to bringing the remaining hostages home.
President Trump loves you. He hasn't forgotten your loved ones, and he's going to fight every single day to bring them home.
This comes as the fragile ceasefire deal teeters on precarious ground. Negotiations for the second and more difficult phase of the deal should have begun in early February. Families of hostages still in Gaza speaking at CPAC in D.C. Thursday.
There is one priority right now. Let's not sign more death certificates.
Ambassador Leiter affirming the U.S. and Israel remain on the same page.
We're feeling that any daylight that had been created between us and the last administration is being erased. We're moving into a mode of learning to tango together right now. Not yet lockstep, but very close tango.
Leiter, like many Israelis, feels the pain of this war personally. His eldest son died fighting in Gaza.
My son was the company commander of the lead company going into Gaza. And I see that as the microcosm of Israel being the lead company leading civilization against barbarism.
6 more live hostages are expected to be released by Hamas this Saturday. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
He must have given up, thrown in the towel, abandoned his sad little masquerade. I finally got to him. The power of the press triumphs.